The 18th century philosopher Immanuel Kant is the central figure in modern Western philosophy. He synthesized early modern rationalism and empiricism, set the terms for the latter century's philosophy, and continues to exercise a significant influence in various fields of life today. He was born in Prussia, in the city once known as Königsberg. He comes from a modest artisan family. His father was a master harness maker, and his mother was the daughter of a harness maker. Though his father's trade was in decline during Kant's youth, the family was never in poverty. His parents, Johann Georg and Anna Regina, were both pietists, and they raised Immanuel in this tradition. Although they were very religious and strict with him, he does not appear ever to have been very sympathetic to this kind of religious devotion. As a youth, he attended the Collegium Fridericianum in Königsberg, which was also a pietist school. After which he attended the University of Königsberg, known as the Albertina, where his early interest in classics was quickly superseded by philosophy, which all first-year students studied and which encompassed mathematics and physics, as well as logic, metaphysics, ethics, and natural law. After college, he spent 6 years as a private tutor to young children outside Königsberg. He supported himself in this way until 1770. By this time, both of his parents had passed away, and his finances were not yet secure enough for him to pursue an academic career. He published many essays and other short works during this period. He made minor scientific contributions in astronomy, physics, and earth science, and wrote philosophical treatises.
All the interests of my reason, speculative as well as practical, combine in the three following questions. 1. What can I know? 2. What ought I to do? 3. What may I hope?
Kant argued that we can only have knowledge of things we can experience. Accordingly, in answer to the question, "What can I know?" he replies that we can know the natural, observable world, but we cannot, however, have answers to many of the deepest questions of metaphysics.
It is beyond a doubt that all our knowledge begins with experience. All our knowledge begins with the senses, proceeds then to the understanding, and ends with reason. There is nothing higher than reason. But although all our knowledge begins with experience, it does not follow that it arises from experience.
His ethics are organized around the notion of a categorical imperative, which is a universal ethical principle stating that we should always respect the humanity in others, and that we should only act in accordance with rules that could hold for everyone. He argued that the moral law is a truth of reason, and hence that all rational creatures are bound by the same moral law. Thus, in answer to the question, "What should I do?" Kant replies that we should act rationally, in accordance with a universal moral law.
So act that your principle of action might safely be made a law for the whole world. It is not necessary that whilst I live happily, but it is necessary that so long as I live, I should live honorably.
Kant also argued that his ethical theory requires belief in free will, God, and the immortality of the soul. Although we cannot have knowledge of these things, reflection on the moral law leads to a justified belief in them, which amounts to a kind, rational faith. Thus, in answer to the question, "What may I hope?" he replies that we may hope that our souls are immortal, and that there really is a God who designed the world in accordance with principles of justice.
I had therefore to remove knowledge in order to make room for belief.
He argues that the human understanding is the source of the general laws of nature that structure all our experience, and that human reason gives itself the moral law, which is our basis for belief in God, freedom, and immortality. Therefore, scientific knowledge, morality, and religious belief are mutually consistent and secure, because they all rest on the same foundation of human autonomy, which is also the final end of nature.
Two things awe me most: the starry sky above me, and the moral law within me. Space and time are the framework within which the mind is constrained to construct its experience of reality.
He died in his 80th year in Königsberg, having rarely felt the need to spend any time outside the city in which he was born.